Estoy en la radio con Howard Stern.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Eskwilax Hour. Today we have Junco, Canche.
Hey, what's up?
And he's visiting us from
San Diego, Califas.
Desde San Diego. Thanks for watching. The Eskwilax Hour. We're bringing you art, light painting, local issues. And what else do we do here? Get creative. And live painting, of course. And today he's going to do some live cartooning for us. Thank you guys for tuning in every Friday, 4 p.m., 4 to 6. You know me, I got some coffee, that way, like, stay up.
Nice. Coffee's next to godliness.
Some local issues. Just in the morning, I just watched, like, some crazy shit go out in front of me. I went to Tamal Lady, and then, like, you know, people just, it was too early, and they were already crazy. Like, some guys ran out of a bus, some other guy ran out of a bus, cops chasing that guy, everybody, and I'm just trying to see, like, where should I duck? Because this might get serious. But hey, just another day in Boa Heights. Just anywhere also where I stay, Mid-City, same thing. Just another day. Cool. Thanks again.
Thank you, carnal. Thank you for bringing that.
I think Yayo contacted us, right?
Yayo. Simon, ese mero. Shout out to Yayo.
Yayo. I don't know if he's, is he back in Mascota right now?
I think he is. He posted something about being in Mascota, and I had to let him know that my tío Pancho, he was born in Mascota. So I was like, hey, yeah, because I don't get to see a lot of people say like, oh, I'm from Mascota.
Yeah, it's a small role.
Oh,
yeah. That's what I was going to ask you, because I saw Chicano Park.
Simon.
Cesar Castañeda?
Oh, yeah, the homie Cesar, yeah.
Shout out to you guys.
Shout out Cesar, Chicano Art Gallery.
Yeah, that's the name. I was trying to figure out earlier on the gram.
Simon.
But, yeah, I mean, you've seen our format. I mean, our like programming. We like to bring guests. We like to bring artists. It doesn't matter if they're painters, oil painters, watercolor.
Doesn't matter.
We did like a fashion show a few months ago. And today, what is your medium?
Our medium is cartooning, caricature art, portraits, whatever, as long as paper and ink.
Cool.
That's my medium.
I mean, the way I go about the interviews is just keep it simple, you know, just down to earth questions. Like, you know, what got you started, like, in the world of cartooning? I mean, I don't know, I'll take a guess, like comics, TV.
There you go, carnal. Yeah, sí mero. Growing up in Tijuana, it's like one of the highlights of my day was always cartoons. Me and my carnal, we would tune into the American news station, the American TV stations, and we didn't understand anything, but as long as it was drawn and it was moving, you know, that was enough to get our attentions. And that was like I guess that's the dream I always had, but I never really told anybody about becoming an animator. So I just started drawing. Mi jefito, he saw that me and my brother would just sit around drawing. So he's like, all right, then you guys can draw, so I'll give you classes, materials, whatever you need.
Well, that's good that we're supportive, man.
Oh yeah,
dude. I mean, I have a couple of artists that came in the show, and you know, their parents, you know, they weren't that supportive.
Yeah.
Of them becoming artists or just practicing art as you know, as a job, as a serious passion, you know.
Simon.
The one point that that you just made was a lot of cartoons eran de Americanos, like made in the U.S. or just made for that audience. I don't remember if, as a Mexican, having any cartoons out there that was like made in Mexico, unless like I remember it was like Topollillo or something.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what the fuck that. That's not a cartoon, but it's like like a show.
Simón.
So no sé si tú recuerdas or you remember any cartoons that were made out there.
No, not really.
Because they were translated, which is different.
Oh yeah.
They weren't made in Mexico.
I always thought the voices were a little off, so I was like, I'll just watch them in English. I know I'm not gonna get it, but I'd rather watch it in English.
But also, I mean, you can tell the same voice from like Thundercats, the same voice for like, I don't know what other, Sonic the Hedgehog.
There you go.
You know, there was like, it's the same actor, so it was very unlikely that was the actual. And now the closest thing I've seen, what they tried was like Border Town.
Oh yeah.
I was somewhat, about it. But
I liked it. I mean, maybe I'm a little biased towards it because it's one of my favorite writers, Gustavo Arellano, was behind the project, and Lalo Alcaraz, who
the illustrator.
Oh man, dude,
he's local, no? Like he stays out here.
He stays out here, but he's actually from San Diego as well.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So when I moved in to San Diego from Tijuana when I was 13, I was like going through a newspaper, and I mean, I like the
La Cucaracha.
I like the funny, like the comics, and I saw La Cucaracha, and I saw that it was by Lalo Alcaraz. I was like, damn, I'm Mexican Chicano dude, like that's so cool. I want to keep reading it, and I always like read it. Then by the time I was getting into high school, I was like getting a little more knowledge, like politics, and so that even got me further interested in Lalo Alcaraz's comics. So yeah, he's one of the people that I always looked up to as a young cartoonist. I've had the pleasure of meeting him.
Him?
Yeah, I've met him. I was a total dork when I met him. I was like just holding his hand really tight. I was like, La Alcaraz,
you meet your
Joaquin, and I'm your biggest fan. But right now, I've had the pleasure of him getting to see my work. There was an article written about my work in a community college where I used to attend, and it actually quoted him and saying that he likes my work. So every now and then I have to pinch myself to see if it's for reals.
Yeah, I mean, it's because you used to watch or read that stuff in like, in the big media.
Yeah.
You're not used to actually meeting the artists.
Gave me something to look up to. Like, you could get inspiration from different artists, but it's like a little more personal when you see like somebody from your own background, from your hometown, with like this shares your perspective out there, making it big, getting known. So I'm like, man, if he or she can make it, there's hope for me too. One of the coolest things that I've gotten to do in recent years, I've gotten to speak at like middle school in my hometown.
Yeah,
it's just like me. It's a school of mostly Mexican kids.
Yeah, of course.
I'm gonna show my work, I pass them around, and just they crack up. When they see my cartoons, I'm like, man, it's like one of those things.
It like pushes you to keep going.
Yeah, it's priceless when you see kids like laugh at your work. I'm like, damn, so this is why I do this.
Yeah, and also you don't know who you're gonna impact.
There you go.
You never know, like, because what I get from just artists coming on here, they've also mentioned, they're like, oh, I came in the show and then I met another artist and we started collaborating.
Simón.
And then there's people that are like, hey, I saw you here or I saw your work here, and they get excited. It's like encouraging. It's what do you call it? It's motivating.
That's right.
And especially when it's like young minds, like you said, you go, you talk to them, they see you, and they're like, wow, that guy could do it. I could do it. I can be the next cartoonist. I could do the next, Simpsons or whichever style they're into. Because there's different styles, right?
Oh
Cartooning.
Yeah, there's different styles.
Like, I don't know what the actual names are, but I know there's like, como manga, like or anime.
There you go.
Yeah. I don't know if you draw that kind.
Like
a lot of people started drawing it because of DBZ.
There you.
Yeah, DBZ, Dragon Ball Z, you know.
Okay. I didn't really read those like how to draw manga books, but I do remember when I started getting into Dragon Ball, my drawing style changed.
Yeah, like sharper.
And like I wasn't even doing it on purpose. Like it just happened.
It's appearing.
Yeah.
Well, that's why. I mean, that's what you said, right? Like the political stuff. That's where it comes in, because like some of the cucaracha stuff, some of it was just really subtle in there, and then if you actually keep up with the times and the politics, you can tell what it was. Because I was reading it when I was like 14, 15.
Yeah.
So like I was just like, oh, it's a comic about
Simon.
you know, gente, or you know, related to Latino or Mexican. Like cucaracha, the name, it says it all.
There you go.
It's Spanish. You're like, oh, and it's like in the LA Times. It's not like it's in translated like from in La Opinión. They have the same like English cartoon, but they're just translated.
Yeah.
So whereas cucaracha, you can relate in both in La Opinión and LA Times.
Yeah.
So I mean, you said that your pops encouraged you.
Oh yeah.
And did you keep studying it, like cartooning, or?
In the school that I used to go to, there wasn't like an art class per se, so it's mostly self-taught. I took a few courses in this. Like I used to in Tijuana. I used to live next to it was like a museum slash an art school, La Casa de la Cultura. So that's where I took my first art classes.
Do you remember the teacher? Was he influential or?
At the time, yeah, he's like. At that time, he was like one of those young adult kind of dudes, like always wearing a leather jacket, really cool guy. So I was like, damn, like, I want to be cool like him when I get to be a badass artist.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
Miguel Angel, that was his name. I think he's I'm not sure, but I think last time I saw him, Pasaje Rodriguez in Tijuana, I think he was like doing fashion now.
Oh yeah. I mean, of course, as time passes.
Yeah.
The fields sometimes change. Like I went from like you said, I used to draw a lot, you know, pens, ink, marker. Then I went into painting. So time passes, fields change. Understandable. So did you pursue it like in college or high school? Or?
In high school, I did. I took like it wasn't like it was. There were a few art classes that I could take. So I made sure to take all of them. Went from like beginning, advanced, advanced placement, and advanced art history.
And you always excelled in like the illustration, cartoon kind of field.
Yeah.
Because I know those classes, they give you a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
And
That's kind of how it came about. Like I came from a history class, and I was like, man, I suck ass at everything. Well, everything except art. So I guess I'll just do art then.
Yeah, I mean, we're all different, you know. We're all got different ways of being creative and just thinking in itself.
Simon.
Because I mean, like myself, I was never good with math, but you know, I have a little shop over there, and you know, I never saw myself, oh, I'm gonna do calculations and everything, because that's what it comes down to.
Oh man.
You know, and I'm more of just a creative type like person.
I was doing packaging last month.
Yeah.
And in order for everything to come out right, I had to use the freaking Pythagorean theorem. I was like, damn, all these years, and it actually came in handy.
You guys heard
what the hell, dude?
Like that stuff does come out.
And it does come in
real life. Not often, but when you need it, you better be ready, right?
On,
Nah.
Do your math, kids.
I haven't gotten that to use like something like that before. But I know my homeboy. He went to school for like to build like helicopter parts.
Yeah. And
he was talking about all the formulas and all these things they had to use, measurements. So we're all in different fields, but it's all good. Did you pursue like animation like after high school?
Animation is something.
No, I'm sorry. I mean cartooning.
Cartooning after high school. I did. Where I actually got my first start, it was probably in no, for sure. It was in a zine in at community college. I was taking on my one of my Chicano studies classes, and I've always been the dude that draws on his notebook, and the person next to me just looks at what I'm doing and says like, do you draw? I'm like, yeah. Like, do you want to draw for Zine? I'm like, hell yeah, let's do this, make it happen. And yeah, that's how I.
And this was started. Out in San Diego still?
Yeah, still in San Diego.
And what were like 19?
Nah, this was 2009. It had to be 2009.
Yeah, and where I was going with that, so were you already using like the political cartoons?
Yeah, I was.
Was it Chicano Studies or what was it?
Yeah, Chicano Studies.
So I know a lot of that it revolves, when like that field revolves like politics.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing.
The way you got sorry.
Oh, sorry. So yeah, you got the zine, right? You worked with them to make the zine.
It was like a thing. It was already had already been started.
No, but there was that issue that.
Oh yeah.
You worked on it.
Yeah, I did.
What was people's reactions?
Well, the zine didn't have long that it got started, so they didn't really have. But they never had a cartoonist. It was just text. So I got in there and they had their first cartoons. I don't want to assume what their reaction was, but they loved it. I came in and I was like, hey. I was like, hey, well, this is all I could. It's like everything that I could do. I don't know what you guys expected, but I hope it's good enough. They're like, no, dude, it's perfect. Do you like? I had this story, but I couldn't put it in this issue. I'm gonna put it in the next one. Do you mind if? Can you draw something about it? I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll do that. So I had to pick and choose which articles was I gonna illustrate.
Yeah, because you gotta. It's like Lalo's thing. It's like Lalo's is like what, like 4 panels or something?
Yeah.
4 little panels.
There you go.
So you gotta get your message like quick and in and out.
It's like
it has to be powerful.
Like they tell writers that, or when you're learning how to write it, you have to make sure what your thesis is, and that is kind of like the same basis in cartooning. So what is the issue and what is your stance on it? And it's mostly opinion based, so yeah, you have to lean to you go for the issue or against it, and why. It's kind of like sum it up in just one illustration.
So you were working on the zine with the Chicano Studies, and what all after that?
After that, I transferred from that school to another school, and at the previous school I wasn't really involved in the newspaper, but the other school that I went to, I got involved in the newspaper. So from the beginning, they told me like, this is the guy you have to talk with, and I was like, all right, what's up? What can I draw? When can I start? Let's do it already. And I was starting, so just like, oh, you just get one story and that's it. Later on, I stayed in that school for like 2 years, so at the beginning I was just the only one. Later on, more people started coming in, but I was like always, like, first story, like, I would always get to pick and choose like what story did I want to illustrate.
What year was this?
This was like 2012 to 2004. 2012 through 2014. Oh my God, I'm getting my dates right.
So this was after 9/11.
Yeah. Oh, 9/11. It's I was still in Tijuana at 9/11.
Yeah. 2012. Wait, that's recent, no? 2012.
Yeah.
5 years.
Yeah.
I was thinking 2000. What year? 9/11. 2001, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking 2001. My bad. But yeah, because I mean, when it comes to like cartoons, and then if you get political with them, a lot of them, they have to do with the time and the year and what's going on, or just, I guess, local issues.
Yeah.
Like especially out there, I don't know what's like right now, because I heard that this is from what I heard and what I read online. But Chicano Park, they also have the whole gentrification issue going down, just like out here in Boyle Heights.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Because I've seen that artists, the where they're reacting about it. They're also the ones that are against it. Of course, they paint, they express their feelings through their work. So that's what I was mentioning. Like, what year was it? And
Yeah.
2012. I don't know exactly what was going on. If there was anything was there anything?
Yeah, there was. After community college, I got involved with a few newspapers in San Diego. I didn't really stick around long for any of them until my friend tells me about this group of the San Diego Free Press, and I got my editor would always like give me stories, or I looked around for stories in the community. A while after I'd transferred out and moved to the Inland Empire, he tells me about the anti-gentrification movement. At the time, the San Diego Chargers wanted to construct a new stadium, and one of the places where they wanted to was right there in Barrio Logan.
That's where.
Yeah, so I was like, Junco, we're making a stand against it. Do you want in? And I was like, yeah. I came up with this illustration, La Diosa del Barrio, just like taking down the stadium. I drew it on walls too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. Like, you express what you feel on, in the local, I guess in this case, the local media,
right.
The local newspaper and walls. This was, you said, and they didn't happen, right? They didn't build, did they?
No, they didn't. It was put into a proposition, and ultimately, like, people voted against it. Yeah. So no stadium, and the Chargers are gone.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I mean, they didn't, they didn't build it. So.
Yeah, Chargers can kiss my ass. And they're not in San Diego anymore, so
yeah.
I could.
Yeah, if they would have built it and then they fucking left, it would have been fucking useless.
Yep.
All that.
Right. Now the thing is that
what they got now.
A lot of the galleries, it's the properties where the galleries are, they have been bought. So eventually they're going to be taken down, and apartment complexes are going to be built.
Shit.
And it's one of the, well, I'm not going to say names, but one of the
developers
developers. He's been buying out all these places, and it sucks because a lot of my friends, like, they own some of the galleries and the spaces there. I've had like my art shown in those galleries. Friends, their art been in there, so it's like, man, there's been a lot of stuff, been a lot of like art expression been building in there, and now to be just taken down like that. So, and once they see the barrio is not the barrio that they heard about, that it's actually nice, they want in, they want to cash in all the new movement, the new name that's been built around it.
Yeah.
Now just
yeah, that's the exact same thing that happened right here on the art district right here. Like, yeah. I met people that they said they used to have galleries on their actual artists, who make art for a living, and that's what they're doing. And they say that, like, after a while, it was just too expensive, and then they got the boots. So now it's just like the spirit of art is down there, not so much the actual artist.
And artists get blamed, right? Yeah. That's what I've heard that's been happening here, that even there was some heat against the self-help graphics, right?
Yeah.
Damn, dude. It's one of the legendary places of Chicano art, man.
It just gets complicated because just too many people with different interests.
Yeah.
That's how I see it. Because I have a homie who he's always at self-help. So I was like, and he told me, and I was like, why would they go against it? I'm like, they've been here for years. They moved from one location to another one, but that doesn't make any difference. It's still the same people
That's right.
Putting a positive message, helping the youth through art, and just having art shows and art events. Like they had an important one like last month or 3 weeks ago, I forgot. It was for Red Fawn.
I wasn't there, but a few of my friends were there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was there. I went to check it out, because I remember we had another guy that another gentleman that came on, and
Simon.
He was teaching us what was going on over there at the Dakota pipeline, and he was mentioning those issues, and that's when I started looking more into it, started paying attention to what's going on to like the big picture, you know, because that was just one battle, but there's an actual bigger one going on where it's like the guy's trying to buy up all the resources, and then like people protecting what it is, the land, nature, because that's what we live off of. And yeah, long story short, yeah, I went to self-help, and they had a nice event. It was a good event, you know, good turnout. I learned a lot from more of the cultures that were there that day, and that's the kind of thing that they're known for, and that's good, you know, spreading culture, spreading, you know, a good positive message. And I don't know why people would see that space as like a gentrifier, I guess. Pero quién sabe, you know. Everybody has their opinion, and I don't know who exactly started that, saying that. Because my homie, you know, he's the one like, oh yeah, you know. But in this neighborhood, there's like me, for example, you know, I've been here in the shop for like since 2014, but I never bother anybody. And we've always hired locally, and we let people put art. And we've been here doing this for the past 3 years now, going into 4. And we never had an issue, because, you know, we don't go and like, oh, you know, we're gonna gentrify. It was more like, all right, we have a business.
We're gonna open up a cupcake store, and we're gonna sell them at ridiculous prices.
No, we're more like, oh no, all right, we need to.
We're gonna steal the recipe of your burritos. Cash in on that.
We were like, you know, my homeboy, he had some money saved. I had some money saved. And he's like, let's do this, because, you know, it's either now or never. And we did it. Unfortunately, he passed away.
Oh, so my bad, dude.
That's cool. Like last year. And you know, there's a lot of that stuff that people don't know, that we had a personal attachment to this neighborhood since day one. We didn't have food all the time, so what we would do is we'd always like the first 6 months we were just selling coffee, because like that was our main thing. But you know, that's how we explored all the food places, because we were eating like all the local food. You know, we were buying all like tortas and tacos and burritos, as much as we can handle. You know, it was a summer that we just got fat. Pero,
I remember those.
Yeah, and then slowly that stuff started creeping up. Like I would start reading the newspaper and the news, then they took down the bridge, and I was like, oh shit, you know, this is something serious. Like I don't know what people feel about our spot. I'm like, we've never bothered anybody, and fortunately, we have never been bothered, just because, like I said, we don't have an issue with the local neighborhood. I mean, I know my neighbors, I know the guys across, I know the people that live in the neighborhood. So that's why I'm just like, I don't know what they're talking about. This is more like towards up there in La Primera, in that area. That's where I think most people are focused on, which is, you know, there was some gallery too that got kicked out. I mean, that means they got scared and took off. Ni modos, no aguantas, then you shouldn't be here.
Right, I'm not gonna say names, but there's certain galleries in Barrio Logan. I got my eyes on you. Nah, I'm just kidding.
No, I mean, it's just like I said, if you can't take the heat, then don't set up.
Sí mero.
You know, that's just how it works out right here. I mean, like where I stay, like I said, it's the same amount of like gente violenta, vatos locos out there. The same thing out here. So when I came over, I was like, oh, it's like home. Like I don't feel threatened. I don't feel in danger. I just feel like at home. Cause like I spend like, I don't know, 14 hours or 7 days a week out here. So pretty much just like my home.
Right.
And over there, I just pretty much go to sleep. I mean, go to sleep, go back home. So I'm like, well, people want to say, oh, come over and protest. I'm like, hey man, I'm just here. I've been here. You guys want to help me out? If you're not, support me. Whatever. I've been here for 3 years, going to 4. So I don't know where you've been at. I never seen you supporting me. Pero pues, you know, you're more than free to come, show your art. You know, that's them.
Yeah.
Pero enough about that. You want to tell me a little about Junco, Canche, and this?
Simon.
Yeah. Is it a zine or?
Yeah, it's a zine. It's a little compilation of cartoons that I've drawn in this year. This is like the most recent one. I think so, like, after 6 months, I just Made a little compilation of everything that I've drawn, like illustrations, comic strips. I always make sure to include a story in like around the middle of the zine. It started in the first one and finished in the second one, like storyboard, back when I had my punk band in San Diego.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the name?
It was a non-issue. Anybody who wants to download the music, it's available online for free. So freaking.
How do they find it?
ReverbNation.com/non-issue.
Reverb
Nation.
Nation. Do you have Instagram? Because you know everybody.
No, this was before Instagram.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are dope.
Oh, thanks,
bro. Each 2 pages, right? They're like different stories, different.
Yeah, it's sometimes it's 2 pages, different story. I said it's just a compilation of everything, the best of what I've drawn. See, I'm gonna be a guest panelist at Comic-Con coming up, and then I have a show like in Barrio Logan. So I'm trying to see if I can make another zine like for that time. It's just like this, because like this quarter I've been a little more focused in school, so it's didn't give me enough time to.
Where can people find this?
That I have
contact you online.
Online, it's described, it's listed on my Big Cartel page, but I haven't updated in a minute. But just to be sure, just contact me online and you can set up something so I can send it to you. It's like only $4.
There you go, guys. Get your issue. This is dope. This is, like I said, this is encouraging. I myself, one point in my life wanted to do exactly this.
What do you mean wanted to do? Just.
But exactly, that's how I was like, oh, I can't do that,
Simon.
In my head, I was like, I can't do that. I'm like, I don't know how to go about it.
Yeah.
But now that I'm seeing it, I'm like, this is possible. Like,
wait, hold on. Go to the last page.
Yeah.
It's a little compilation of like different people have been like inspiring me. This was from last year specifically. So like there's Lalo Caras in there and
yeah, just shout him out.
Jaime Hernandez.
Shout him out.
Have you been reading Love and Rockets?
No.
They haven't read. Oh, dude, get a chance to Love and Rockets. Los brothers Hernandez, Gilbert, Jaime, and there's a third one, but name always escapes me. Maggie the Mechanic. It's like this. Well, specifically the Loca story. It's a group of Chicanas from Oxnard. And the first issues, like they were a little more sci-fi-ish, but then as the story went on, it became more down to earth.
Yeah.
So I got a chance to see Lalo and Jaime in Pasadena, and Jaime was talking about it. It's like nobody was covering the Chicano punk scene, and nobody was really making stories like centered around women, but not romantic type stories. And also like you see the main character Maggie, and she transitions throughout the story. She gains weight, loses weight, changes appearance, but no, it's not like one of these like model-esque type of heroines.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just as you read it, like a lot of the things are a little fantastical, but it's pretty down to earth.
No, I understand. We had an artist on here that her name is Paloma Negra. If you're watching, hello.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, she's like, she didn't want to draw princesses, like,
Simon.
todo chiseled up. This is how you're supposed to be. Her paintings are like what she wants to. Like, it's like all these gruesome looking chicks, like nariz cortada, and it's like her own thing. Like, this is me as a princess. It was like some chick with like tentacles and all this and all that. So it's awesome that they did that.
That sounds sick, dude.
Yeah, I know. The more artists come on here, the more I get to learn what everybody's been up to.
Yeah.
Just because.
Oh, check that one out. No, that illustration, I learned something from it, dude. Because I posted it up, and a lot of people have been sharing it. And but they would crop off my signature.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, but
He's the originator, guys.
Yeah.
They did. They cropped it out.
They would do that and they would share it, but it was always like all these Chicano Power, Mecha accounts like on Facebook, on Instagram. So I was like, you know what? I'm not even gonna say anything, man.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say anything because it's all for the cause, the movement, and you know, arte para el pueblo. So I'm not gonna be like, hey, well, you're taking my money. What the fuck? Well, there was like somebody that was making shirts out of it. Well, we talked, but we got to an arrangement, so it's all good.
Yeah, hablando se arreglan las cosas.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I've gotten people ask me like the art that I do, like, can I put it in a shirt? I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? Like, do I have to pay? I'm like, nah. I'm like, ¿qué tanto me puedes dar? But you know, that's because it was like small. It was like 5, 6.
Yeah.
It wasn't like cantidad. But yeah, hablando, you know, fix stuff. Don't get all crazy over it. What's up with this Muhammad Ali?
Muhammad Ali. Oh,
You a fan?
Yeah, well, he's a pretty influential, pretty big character. I mean, he's a really good boxer, political activist. You know, he's had a big personality. I'm not the kind of dude that likes people like that. Like, they brag a lot, but he bragged because he was actually really good at what he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes people, they just pat themselves a little bit too much.
By the way, no, I'm like, I suck at drawing, so no. I'm not one of those kind of people. Which one are you reading right now?
It says, give me the most punk rock hairstyle available. Oh, the burn.
Yeah.
Close
That's
it
it.
up right
That's
here.
the most punk rock hairstyle you can get. Just like a balding, what is he, congressman? Senator?
Yeah,
A
Senator.
balding senator from Vermont?
Sabe.
Damn, dude, I
All I
suck
know
at
is
geography,
he was
man.
trying to win state.
Well, the balding senator from Vermont hairstyle, that's the most punk rock hairstyle you can get. Fuck the mohawk, Liberty Spice, lo que sea, fuck it.
Yeah, because he was the only one trying to stand up, pero al final se lo cargaron, no?
Yeah.
Sadly. Mexican Dad number 2. What was Mexican Dad number 1?
Good, that number 1, I was oh man, I remember specifically like, number 1 because it was based from interactions with my dad at the time. They're just interviewing Mexican Dad and they're asking Mexican Dad, so you know, how do you go about discussing the birds and the bees with your kids? And Mexican Dad's just chilling there with his beer in his hand. He's like, well, you know, it's like this. If you're my daughter, I'm gonna tell you, like, don't have sex, like, ever. And if you're my son, you go ahead and have all the sex that you want, just don't be gay, okay? Don't be gay. I'm drawing the line with that. Don't be gay.
And how old were you?
At the time, it was probably like 19 or 20 when I came up with that. So I was
I mean, people can relate because, you know, especially dads that grew up over there.
yeah.
They come with a certain culture, certain mentality.
I heard a joke like that in King of the Hill. Like Hank was saying, Bobby was asking Hank, like, how come it's okay for boys to have sex and not for women? He was like, it's called the double standard. Don't knock it. We got the long end of the stick. I tell you what.
Yeah, I mean, there's you know, those messages in different cartoons, and then you can catch them if you pay attention to them.
Yeah.
And it's not just like cartoon and shit. Like I was telling you, like this one is the one you said, like when you talk to your dad about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You're gonna be like, hey, I can relate to that because, you know, my dad, you know, you've mentioned that, the same shit. You'd be like, no puede ser joto. You know, that's how they would say it.
Yeah, pretty much.
But it's because that's how they
shit,
grew
dude.
up.
Should I have said anything about trigger warnings y la chingada?
Have you said anything, you said?
No, should I have said anything? Like, oh, like, trigger warning, I'm gonna say this y la chingada?
Oh, nah, I mean,
all right.
We're expressing our opinion. And, you know, not everybody goes with your opinion, but not everybody against it.
All right, last time I was in a show like this, I got chewed out on Tumblr.
I mean, if they find you online, they'll chew you out online. They find me online, they can chew me out.
Hold on, let me see if anybody send me any death threats. Hey, fuck you, Junco.
But I mean, this is what it's for. So
yeah,
if we start like like hiding what exactly we gotta say. That's just what.
Damn, no death threats yet. All right, it's still early.
Still early. No death threats.
No death threats yet.
That's cool. That's cool. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I would relate to a cartoon or a comic like that. I'd be like, oh shit, you know. I don't know if they have it. It'd be like Mexican Dad, and then like a whole book about how Mexican your dad is. You know, not to alienate any other dads.
You know what? Something I've been doing lately. Just gonna put this out there. If you can draw cartoons, you can make memes.
Yeah, memes.
So, or the other way around. If you can make memes, you can draw cartoons or write them and get somebody to draw them for you. I mean, cause it's almost like the same thing as Mexican Dad. I mean, let me find it real quick.
You made a meme?
Yeah, it's. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, so if you can find me on Instagram, you can see it. It's just a picture of a Mexican dude. He's like he judges you in Mexican, and I can't see it. You can't see it. Chinga. Well, it says, well, it's a picture of my dad, and he's like giving you this look, and it says right there in the captions like, judges you in Mexican. Name a reason why your Mexican dad would judge you like this. And I got pretty good comments here. Let me see. Like your Mexican.
Yeah, 'cause right now memes are like one of the quickest ways to get voice or a message.
See, like one of the responses I got, it judges you because you're going outside without a sweater, judges you for skinny jeans, for wearing pink. When he hears you like whisper about after he asks you to do something, when you flip the tortilla with a fork, all that made me laugh, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My sister.
When
she flips the tortilla with tenazas.
Oh man.
And I was like, what the hell are you doing?
See, when you cuando te rayas el cuerpo más con pizarrón, ráyate las nalgas, cabrón.
Yeah, definitely.
See, that's the reason why I have no tattoos.
Ráyate el culo. That's what my mom said. Oh, te vas a rayar. Oh, también ráyate el culo de una vez. You know. I'll be like, hey, I like them. She's like, well, right on your ass, that's it. I'm like, nah, I think that would probably hurt. But, yeah, I mean, what about the characters?
That's
just an old character?
It's supposed to be me. It's in I was gonna say in Maya, because my grandmother, she's Maya. But I'm thinking that also like goes into Aztec culture, but the monkey is often like associated with the arts, with artists. So like, to me, the monkey, it's a pretty personal symbol.
Yeah.
So that's why I went the monkey. At the time, when I had caricature gigs, I would always make sure to look pretty nice, you know, because that's why it's wearing like the tie and the suspenders and shit. You know that saying? I don't know if you heard that saying. Aunque la mona se vista de seda, mona se queda.
Oh yeah, of course.
You know, it's like I can dress all nice and sharp and shit, but you know, I'm still a cartoonist.
Okay.
I still goof around.
That's dope.
Yeah, thanks, bro.
And he's holding his notepad and pencil, no?
Yep.
Ready to sketch or cartoon. And he got the chucks.
Yep. Well, it's pants today, but mostly we're
and
chucks.
The hat, and then the ponytail going on.
No, this is a tail. Oh wait, yeah. Well, not the ponytail.
Hair.
It's just hair. Yeah. When I started drawing like my own like character, I still had short hair. Like, it's starting to grow, so I just left it like that.
What's the name of this character?
It doesn't really have a name. Oh, it's supposed to be me.
Yeah. So Junco.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can relate because like my character is the rabbit. Like everything I do is rabbits.
So Dochli is associated with.
Yeah.
Is it anything to do with drinking?
No, not this one.
Oh, okay.
No, this was more of the Eskwilax.
Okay.
The Eskwilax is derived from the Eskwilax from The Simpsons. There's an episode where he's talking to, he's like Chief Wiggum and Lisa, and then he's all like, the mighty Eskwilax is the rabbit with the head of, no, it's the horse with the head of a rabbit and the body of a rabbit, which is, it's stupid. They didn't think about it.
Yeah. Well, like the only monster I can remember from Simpsons right now is the Quidgibo.
Who's that?
A big, dumb, balding North American ape with no chin and a short temper.
Yeah, it's like Homer. And and that's how I came. Like, I was 12, 11. I'm like, I like that. I like the rabbit. I like the Eskwilax. And then I'm like, all right, I'm gonna write it differently because I used to do graffiti. I'm like, I write it differently, and then for some reason I'm just drawn to rabbits. Like, I'm gonna draw a rabbit. My character's gonna be a rabbit. I have a tat right there.
Actually, there's I remember there's this vase from, I want to say, post-classic Maya. It's but it's a rabbit that's painting a mural.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I'll send it to you, bro.
Yeah,
cool.
I mean, the closest thing, right, like 2 months ago, we did a show. Well, I was part of a group show. It's called Leyendas, just Leyendas de Mexico, I think. And yeah, I did Tochli, which is the rabbit in the moon. And I was like, I ended up, working on the rabbit painting again. For some reason, I was always, like I said.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing, is that something that happens with your character?
Yeah, there you go.
Just like subconsciously?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Cool, man. So, where were you at? Where were you talking about your school, right? You said you got into the newspapers. What about after that?
After that, well, a little before I moved from San Diego to Inland Empire, that's when I got in touch with people from the San Diego Free Press. So I started doing cartoons in there for their website. And one of the stories that I covered for the first time was because there's a shipyard right there in Barrio Logan, and that community does have pretty high numbers of kids that suffer from respiratory diseases like asthma and shit.
Yeah.
So they're trying to push a proposition to move the shipyards, have to move to help out the kids. And that was one of the first art shows that I participated in. I just had to print out and frame the illustration I started with in Free Press. That was by the time the art galleries were popping up in the community, and a lot of my friends were had coffee shops, galleries, stuff like that. And so it was a pretty good time, but that was the time where my band was still around.
Yeah.
But I was like, yeah, well, this is really cool, but eventually I'm gonna have to move to the Inland Empire. I still participated for the San Diego Free Press while I was out there. My first year, then later on, I started get more focused in school, so it's little by little I stopped participating. But then also I was also working with the paper in my school. I took a job illustrating a book, and what was the other one? Oh, and also sending in cartoons to Pocho.com, the Lalo Caras's website.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah, dude. I think it was the same way. It was a zine first, but then it transitioned into a website.
Like an online, digital. What's your opinion on that? Because before, I'm pretty sure you weren't all digital, right? A lot of it was actual.
Yeah, that was.
Hand drawn, hand painted, pencil, Prisma.
Yeah.
And now I think, because it's just quicker, it's digital.
Quicker, yes. I mean, it's, just gotta adapt and, como dicen los hipsters, get with the times. When I moved to the Inland Empire, I started drawing with a tablet.
Yeah, that's something.
And before that, I just paper, pencil, and ink. So it took me a while to get used to it. I was like, man, this is stupid. This is crazy, something crazy, something different. And just give me paper and pencil, and I got this. It does save you a lot of time, though, and you can do all these crazy cool effects One time I couldn't use my tablet, and I was like, all right, I'll just do it old school. It felt really good to go back old school for a minute, but then, you know, you are a little limited. So I was like, all right, I guess tablet is worth it after all.
Yeah, I mean,
So it's like almost the same thing, just going from print to online. You know, you know that if you already have a big presence on print, chances are that you're gonna have a big following online as well when you transition, and you know it can't be that hard.
Yeah, the more you're against it, the of course it's gonna be more difficult.
That's
that's
why.
what I thought.
And see what is right now? Isn't like Facebook where a lot of people get their news nowadays?
Yeah, it's like it's
And
not
that's
being
why
like a
it's-
social. It's more
That's
like
why pinche Mark Zuckerberg's raking all this feria, dude.
yeah,
And it has like a lot of like power over the people. Yeah. Fuck you, man. You won't
every hour.
keep looking at this shit, man.
We're there right now.
There you go. See?
But yeah, that's how I felt about it at first. So I was like, man, you know, I don't want to, you know, because I seen people, and then people would let me borrow it. I'm like, fuck this. I want to draw with paper. But then I spoke to somebody about it that was in that field.
Yeah.
I think they were working for like a big company, and they're like, you can still sketch it out, but eventually you have to transfer it, and then like it just makes it faster.
It's actually a lot easier
Yeah,
if you
more.
sketch it out first on paper.
Yeah.
Then like picture it, scan it, and then digitize it.
Yeah, he's. I mean, she was like, yeah, it's like, it just makes it quicker.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, it doesn't mean you have to stop doing it on your own time.
yeah.
Like you can always keep trying and just cartooning on your free time. But when it comes to work, she's like, this is quicker.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
oh,
it is.
it's a good way. She made a good point. Cause I was, like I said, always against it. I'm like, nah, I don't want to do that. You know, it's a digital tablet. It's not. Doesn't count.
Yes, I mean, yeah.
But you know, over as time went by, I'm like, all right, it makes sense. It makes sense. So, where were we at?
Yeah, where are we at?
I forgot. The audience knows I lose it. But yeah, you were talking about the Inland Empire and the shipyard,
Mm-hmm.
and I was gonna ask you about the political stuff. And what point was this when you started working like the newspaper? Like you said, like in high school, no?
Yeah, well, it's in high school. That's when I started becoming more interested in politics. The politics and like living in the border. There was a time in my life where crossing from San Diego to Tijuana and back and forth. That was a daily part of my routine.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah,
People.
it was also like at the times where you didn't have to. Where if it took you an hour to cross the border, that was a lot. Right now, it takes about 3 hours and shit to cross the border, dude. And so, you know, you kind of have that moment where you're like, all right, so I identify as a Mexican, do I identify as American? You know, for me, well, I started growing up in Tijuana. I can still remember the Mexican national anthem and how to honor the Mexican flag, that kind of stuff. That was so for the first 13 years of my life, I was just Mexican.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, okay, we're gonna move to San Diego. So I was like, oh shit, so how do I adjust to being American? It wasn't that hard, but so yeah, I had that moment, like, what am I? What I identify as? It's, you know, I have these people here that just look down on me for my skin color, for the language that I speak, stuff like that. I always made sure to tell myself, you know, whatever happens, you know, don't let anybody take away like my pride in being Mexican. Yeah. Like around the time there was a 2006, I think it was, like there was a more debate about the situation in the border. You know, I don't remember because I was really young at the time. The whole like Pete Wilson thing, Prop like 187. It was kind of like aspects of it were resurfacing in 2006, like the Minutemen that were in the border.
Shit. Oh yeah,
Border Angels. Shout out to Enrique Morones. I don't think he's watching this, but
Hey, this is gonna go on YouTube afterwards.
yeah, but although that time it was all happening, and so I was like, all right, so you got all this shit thrown at you. Where do you stand? What do you believe in? I was like, all right, I'm drawing my line, and this is where I stand. This is what I believe in. This is what I think is right, and not just for myself, but for the people in my community. We ain't gotta take no disrespect. We ain't gotta. By the way, it's like I said, no, I'm not gonna mention names, but my main homie, he's a year younger than me, but he already has his bachelor's degree, his master's degree. He's gonna move out of state for his PhD, but pretty much like the same background as me. I grew up in Mexico, moved in like as a kid, and his life is being both Mexican and American. But he has told me stories where he gets pulled over by the border patrol, and like they hassle him. It's like, oh, where you from? Where you going? And it's like, well, I'm a citizen, and this is I teach at a university. And just like yeah, you teach at university level. Yeah, right. The fuck is this guy? What is he on? So he hassled him for a while, but eventually, he's a good guy. They ain't got dirt on him, so they gotta let him go. But still, he's completely like unworried about it. He's like, yeah, well, they look like jackasses because they ain't got shit on me. But I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Come you get that kind of shit at you, man? Fuck, just based on what he looked like.
Yeah, and it's sad because, like you said, he's been doing and like getting his education on, doing all these things. Yet, cuando llega, I mean, te miran nada más como eres, and brown skin. And that's
there you go.
What the first thing they see.
It's another reason why I do what I do is like I did have an experience like that in high school. I had a substitute teacher in one of our classes, and I barely remember. I don't think we really went through like the course material, but there was a moment where this like person started ranting, like saying, well, you kids are from this community, and this is as good as it gets for you kids. You guys are stuck here in your beach community. Me and a few other people did say like, hey, no, this ain't for us. We're gonna move out, homie. We're gonna explore and see all kind of cool shit, and come back and assist our community. This ain't it for us. So that's another reason why I do what I do. Why I've gone to talk with kids and show them my work. Like, don't let anybody like deter you. Like, go forward, homie.
Yeah, I mean, don't let anybody, just because they can't do it, just they couldn't do it or whatever. Just because they're giving you their opinion, they're trying to define who you are. Mm-hmm. But in the end, you make your choices and shit.
So that was happening in high school, and I was like, all right, this is what I believe in. And I attended Mecha for like 2 years in high school. At the same time, I was becoming more interested in my indigenous heritage and learning about indigenous cultures.
Where is your background from? Your family?
My mom, she's from the state of Jalisco, and all my mom's side of the family, all the family that I know, like they're from the state of Jalisco. Shout out to Atengo, shout out to Tenamashlan, Mascota, of course, and all my family in Guadalajara. On my dad's side of the family, they're from the state of Campeche, which I visited earlier this year. I got in touch with, from my dad's hometown, shout out to Nuevo Progreso. It's like pretty much like I grew up with people not, like they get weirded out with my last name. It's like, oh, I was like, that's a weird last name. Where's your family from? So it's like me, my dad, and my carnalito were just like, those were the only people with my last name that I knew. So when I went to my hometown, it was like, and then we shared the same last name. It's like a town full of primos, tias, tios, just everywhere, dude. It was crazy. This is what all those like Lopez and Rodriguez and Sanchez must feel like.
Martinez. Huh?
Yeah.
Shit. Yeah, getting in touch with their like your deep roots is always
No,
like.
yeah, my grandmother, she's a Maya.
Yeah, that's what
Probably
I
more
was asking.
Yucatec Maya.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She speaks.
Oh no, she doesn't. I've asked her, and she says like nobody that she knew of like spoke Maya, but so that's as far as I could like dig in my family. Everything else I